Hello and welcome. As always, I'm Sagebo. This is NFL Live. With me today is Dean
Hello.
and Doctor.
Hello.
So everybody, we're gonna do like question and answer for maybe 15 minutes or so. Just post in the shout box what you want to ask the panel. Anything goes pretty much, but try not to be too mean. We have feelings too.
Yeah, we do.
to start
I
off,
might.
the question is, who do you guys think is your Super Bowl dark horse? Just someone no one expects. We'll start with Doctor.
I'm gonna go with the Indianapolis Colts. 2 years ago, they made it to the Super Bowl and almost won it. Obviously, some things have changed since then, but I really like what Orange and Lasercats have done with the team. Uh, just looking at their roster, it doesn't impress me that much, but Shea was so good in his first game that I think if he can keep up those numbers, and if Bartos can continue just wrecking everybody, that their offense might be able to carry them into the playoffs. And then from there, they're the kind of team that really like they can have a week where they'll beat anyone any given week. And they also are in a really weak division, so that helps them, especially with Jacksonville being 0-2 right now, and Alan Taylor still being out. I think it gives them a really good chance to make the playoffs, and then from there, like I said, anything can happen.
All
Yeah.
right. So Indianapolis Colts. My personal pick is the Denver Broncos. I really like what the two old men have done so far. They had a really important win against the Chargers last week, even though the Chargers lost Will Thompson. But Denver actually has pretty good pieces all around. I think they can sneak in, but it's a long shot. It's all about having dark horses there. I really like Daryl Mack, their second year receiver. I think he's really good, maybe a Pro Bowl guy. The offensive line's good. They just have talent all over. It's not a spectacular team. There's not a really big name star, but if they gel together as a good team and Jerry Rambo gets back into his rookie season form that was so good and won the Offensive Rookie of the Year award, then I think Denver might just surprise everyone. It's a long shot, but dark horses. Now we'll
Yeah.
go to Dean.
All right, I'm going to be entirely a homer. I think it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, and here's why. Teddy Walker is pretty much going to be the only, not the only reason, but he's going to be the boomer bust. If he ends up being ridiculously good, like we expect him to, I think there's a chance that we might. But if he ends up like some other cornerbacks that were taken high in the draft before, then you know then there's a difference. But the only reason why is because Thomas Wheeler, the quarterback, is ridiculously good. And honestly, today's game against Carolina will be a good showcase to see how good the team is in itself. If they win this, I think there's going to be a movement starting that could be very good for the Chiefs.
All right, that was everyone's answers. Real quick, before we keep going on the broadcast, apparently there was a shooting outside my apartment just a few hours ago. So if there's sirens, I'm sorry. I live in a bad neighborhood.
And I live in a college, so if you hear sirens on my end, that's why.
First question, Def CPO asks, is Carolina the best team in the NFC? Uh, I don't know. Skaggs is good. Led is good. They have good pieces. I don't know if they're the best in the NFC though. Seattle's still really good. Um,
Yeah, I'd have to give the edge to Seattle on this one. But honestly, once
Wait a
again,
minute, wait a minute. The NFC?
NFC, yeah, and the
oh,
Lions
They're
too.
joking, right? The Lions. The
oh yeah, the
Lions are
Lions.
much
Yeah,
better.
yeah, the
The
Lions.
Lions are probably the best team in the NFL this year.
I put
If
Carolina.
my them in Miami.
Carolina's good. I just don't think they're the best. On any given day that you can beat anyone. We're not saying Detroit's invincible or nothing.
Well, we'll see.
I
I don't know.
I
Detroit
don't think
scares me a lot
Detroit's really good, but I don't think that they're invincible. Fox Sports asks, can someone explain to me why the Ravens traded Paul Howell?
because the Sam is a bad GM.
Ha! No.
I I don't really know, but can we talk about this trade real quick? Paul Howell going to the Jets, and suddenly Eric Weggert looks really, really good. Do you guys think Eric Weggert might be finally living up to his first overall pick potential or expectation?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Let me. I'll have to look at the Browns depth chart before I make
The
a
Browns?
decision on that.
Do you mean the
Oh yeah,
Jets?
he versus the Browns.
Oh no. The Browns who they torched
Oh,
today. I
yeah.
want to
We
see.
have that one corner, Kadeem Martin. Guy's a ball hawk.
I would say that the reason why is because it's almost as if it was the start of a rebuild. I mean, like, if you're gonna get something, get for it for a rebuild. I mean, I understand, I guess, a little bit why he did it, but I would have tried to get more than that.
I think the Ravens just had a really bad offseason in general.
Mhm.
Like they might be the only team I've ever seen actually regress over an offseason.
I
Lots of people would disagree with that.
I was pretty close with Rome. He was a good friend of mine, and I I I don't really believe in Reggie Watkins. I don't think he's a long-term solution, but Rome insisted he was.
He was
But
good before.
yeah, he's good, but at the same time, he's playing with Booker T, who might be hitting his ceiling sometime soon. He's I don't actually know. Just looking at his stats today, Booker T's still really good. Uh, I don't really know about the small sport team.
Yeah.
I maybe DeSam wants to get his own guys in there that run the system that he likes.
Yeah, I mean the Ravens had a good game, but they still lost because of their defense. Like, although Lawyer Johnson is a very good quarterback, they should have won. Just
I mean, just
We'll,
look at
we'll,
how
we'll
they
get to
got
that.
absolutely destroyed. I mean, you can't give up 418 passing yards with that defense. You just can't.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later when we're talking about the games and stuff.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions?
What do you guys think has been the most impressive rookie so far in 1.5 weeks of play?
Aaron
Shea.
Shea.
Aaron Shea. Yeah,
That's never gonna be anything but unanimous there.
yeah, Shea is like 400 yards, touchdowns to Bartos. The guy's an animal.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how he does today.
I have a question. Who do you think has been most disappointing so far?
Most of
Ravens.
disappointing as a team,
Yeah, sure, team.
as a player.
Ravens,
And then Jeff.
just Ravens.
I didn't really have high expectations for the Ravens, so I can't really say them.
I'll say Jaguars.
They've been so good though.
Oh, the Jags.
yeah,
I
Well,
thought
I
the
mean,
Jags would be very
Taylor
good.
got hurt.
Yeah, but even before he was hurt, he was still struggling in the first week.
Yeah, but he was probably hurt then
Didn't he get
too.
hurt in
A lot of it is their new coach, one lineman. He doesn't really have NFL experience yet.
Yeah.
Plus, the offensive side of their ball, I just don't feel like they have too much quality there outside of Alan Taylor.
I
Yeah.
honestly think this could be the season where Alan Taylor regresses quite hard. I truly believe that. I think
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I feel like the idea though that the Jaguars were going to be really good was a little bit ridiculous. Just because when you look at their roster, it really is Alan Taylor and friends, and I don't think anyone not named Brian Brown, and even Brian Brown really has a great supporting cast, and that's what allows him to be so dominant. You have to have something else to help, unless maybe you're Skaggs, but even he kind of needs help. It's just it's a really rough situation for Taylor, and when he's out like today, and he might be out after today too, Harper really just can't step in and fill his shoes yet.
Has injuries been posted?
No, injuries haven't been updated for this
I'm
afternoon
assuming
yet.
though because I feel like a lot of the people who are questionable or worse coming into this week are still on the report.
Yeah.
I had high hopes for what's his face, Byron Harper. I
Yeah.
thought he might because he was killer in the preseason, but
He might
just
still be good.
struggled.
I think
mean,
Byron
don't
Harper.
drop him.
I think Byron Harper's a really good passer. He doesn't have the wheels that Alan Taylor has there. And
Mhm.
Alan
Yeah.
Taylor's already a really good passing, scrambling quarterback.
Yeah, if there was a team for him to go to sit back and learn, it would be the Jaguars. Honestly, the Byron
Definitely.
Harper pick is probably one of my favorite picks in the draft.
I mean, for my most disappointing team, I think I'll go with the Raiders. Raiders are really good still, and I know Nick Hall went down with an injury, but it's just like the way they played in Week 1 didn't seem like a championship team to me. They got trounced pretty hard by Kansas City.
Yeah.
I want to see them bounce back, but after what little time we've had, I'd say the Raiders are the most disappointing.
Yeah. I can get
Teddy
behind that.
Walker. Sorry. Oh, Teddy Walker held his receiver to like 6 receptions and 55 yards, I believe.
He didn't blank him though.
Yeah, I also heard Walker went out
It is
with an
triplet,
ankle
to be
injury,
fair.
and then the second corner came in and covered the receiver for the Raiders, whose name eludes me right now. At least that's the impression that I got.
Yeah, I think so, but still, Teddy Walker, I believe, once again, boomer bust, and I hope it's a boom.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on. We're gonna talk about the Thursday night game. It was the Minnesota Vikings at St. Louis, two undefeated teams playing each other. It's probably my favorite rivalry in the sim is playing against the Vikings in the ALFL. We finally
Yeah,
get
I
a
really
win.
like that rivalry too.
Yeah, it's just a really good contrast between the two teams. There's like a really run-heavy team and a really pass-heavy team, and two good quarterbacks. It's just always fun to play them, and we
Yeah.
came out with a win this time. I'd have to say a lot of credit goes to Daryl Murphy. Murphy's been really good in the first 2 games.
Um,
And their run defense.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
I think this is a perfect example of why I said at the beginning of the year Minnesota was not at all a Super Bowl caliber team. They just don't have the secondary. They have a garbage secondary. They're gonna get torched every time they go against a good quarterback. Murphy obviously had a great game, but this is gonna be par for the course for the Vikings this year unless they can figure something out. But I just don't see it happening. They need to trade maybe or something. They can't keep starting 76 overall corners and expecting not to get destroyed.
Yeah.
Week in and week out.
That's a good point. Their cornerback situation is really rough, but at the same time, Darren Slenderman Manning had an outstanding game. 1 interception, 11 tackles. You probably don't want to see that out of your strong safety, but he's quality guy. Everyone knows about Cleveland Merrill already. Paul Goodman looks good for them as a rookie. On the offensive side of the ball, though, Vardell, Henson, Beckett is really going to be hard for any team to stop the Vikings in offense. I think Chester Henson was pretty banged up, and our run defense is much improved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem, I think, I mean, it's like every team has, or most teams have at least 1 or 2 playmakers on offense. I don't know if Beckett is really that great of a wide receiver. He's good, obviously, but he's not like an elite wide receiver, at least yet. They obviously have probably the best 1-2 combo in the backfield. But if you look at their schedule, like the schedule that they play, it's not going to be enough without a defense.
Yeah.
It just isn't.
Hold up. Do we have an idea who's causing all this feedback real quick? There's a lot of like background noise.
It's not me.
Might be me, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it might be Dexter. Can you access your microphone sensitivity and just turn it down a little bit?
Alright. While that's going on, Proletariat has a question. Who's the most surprising team so far?
Most surprising team for me?
Yeah.
Let's see here. I think in a good way, the most surprising team in a good way. It's probably
Yeah.
the Pittsburgh Steelers. They might have lost big this week, but Rob Corp seems like the real deal. I think, especially in the weak AFC North, they'll be really pushing for a playoff spot. Especially for a second-year team, that's a big accomplishment. So hats off to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh was going to be my selection. Pittsburgh, even with PBQOS as their, I thought they should have started PBQOS honestly, because he had a good year last year, at least a good start of the year, and I thought he deserved the starting. Rob Corp has blown me away. How about you, Dak?
If I had to choose, I'd probably say so far just Kansas City. Them absolutely destroying the Raiders like they did was not expected at all. And I don't know. I know there was a lot of hype behind them, but I didn't really buy into it until that first game. So
Yeah.
I'll choose them as surprising for me personally.
All right. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
You adjusted my audio level.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out who's causing all the feedback. Sorry. I haven't heard any in a while. Can you guys say something real quick?
Yep.
All right, Doctor.
Hello.
All right, it's still Doctor's mic.
I don't know. I can't turn down the sensitivity on it.
Yeah, I'm messing around in the controls panel. So.
All right.
We'll just have to make do. Sorry, guys.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. Let's move on to the 1 p.m. games. We'll just go straight down the slot. To start off, we had the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Miami Dolphins at Miami. It was a big win for Miami, but some positive shows for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's defense obviously can't keep up with this high-powered Miami offense. You guys still think Miami's the favorite to win the Super Bowl?
Yes, hands down. Miami is the best team in the league, and I honestly could see them take it all.
I think it's hard not to say so, but I don't know. I think they're about on an equal level with Detroit right now. Detroit maybe is even a slightly higher. They just have such an unbelievable defense.
Yeah, that's the difference between Miami and Detroit. Miami has the best offense, but Detroit has the best defense. Honestly, since Rob Corp was actually able to actually do really good against Miami defense like that.
Yeah.
If it was going to be Rob Corp throwing almost 300 with 3 TDs, when they get to verse a team that has a very high offensive, it'll turn into a what's it called? A shootout.
Yeah.
And I don't trust the Miami defense to be able to hold it up. I honestly.
They had a really good season last year.
Yeah, I still think Miami wins it all, but the defense is starting to show it's a bit of weakness.
I think at the same time, though, Marcus Berry was out. Keith Dunn had to play this game. They couldn't do the ground and pound that they usually can with Marcus Berry when they get up big against a team, just to pound away at the clock. I still think Miami's the favorite, just because they're such a complete team. It'll be hard to beat it.
Montgomery went 6 for 137. That's ridiculous. No touchdown, though.
Yeah, Rodney Montgomery's a beast. I think he was matched up against Pittsburgh Steelers' Joel Prince. Joel Prince is also a very good cornerback. It just goes to show how much better Montgomery and Brian Brown are.
Yeah.
Dane Wilson, I mean, he came off the blitz, hit Rob Corp, got the forced fumble recovered, and then ran it back for a touchdown. Still the best safety. I think bar one, it's Colts Sean Burton. It's probably the other best safety in the league. Justin Davis coming off just as lethal as always. And then Benjamin Blankenship, a huge acquisition for this team. I didn't think Benjamin Blankenship would be really good, but 2.5 sacks and a safety later, I can't say he's been a disappointment. That guy's a beast.
Yeah.
He was really good.
All right.
Note to everyone listening, Saluna says these 4 p.m. games are LOL. Get ready for some fun.
All right. Next game is the Browns at the Jets. The Jets won quite convincingly. even though the score says 27-20, it was tough. Eric Weger, I can never pronounce it.
Oh, Weger.
Eric Weger threw for almost 400 yards on 24 completions, which is absolutely unreal. Paul Howell was 7 for 205 with 2 touchdowns. It was 24-6. It was never really close. They got it close because of 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns, but it was still just unreal.
Mhm. Yeah, the Jets lost Jesse Scott for the entire season, ACL tear. Really unfortunate for this team.
Hmm.
But Paul Hell's really good. Charlie Paul and Jim Umanora, when they have played for the Jets, they've been good. Umanora with his injuries and stuff. I think the only problem for the Jets this season has been OJ Carano's slow start out of the gate. He's not been very good in his first 2 games.
Yeah.
Uh, Defensively, Rashad Jenkins, the free safety, really, really good.
Yeah.
Brum sat out this game, but Bob Ballard showed that he can still put up the slack on the defensive line.
Ray McBride has a sack, interception, and 2 tackles.
Yeah, the revenge game is really real for Ray McBride. If people don't know, Ray McBride used to play for the Jets, was traded to the Browns this offseason, came back with a vengeance. It was a good game for him, too bad he couldn't come out to win.
Yeah. I honestly believe Ryan Clark is one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the league. Now, his stats were good, but I just don't see it. Like, he had 14 completions out of 22 for 283 with 1 touchdown. That's pretty good, but I still just don't see him being able to have someone that'll be able to take him over the hump and should be replacing.
I think the opposite. I really like Ryan Clark. Go ahead, Dexter.
He's okay. I just want to point out that Jayshon Watts, he was a little bit of a controversial pick for Cleveland, and he got torched for over 200 yards. So, yeah, just
I mean,
maybe.
They started Jayshon Watts this week over Kadeem Martin.
Yep, and he got absolutely just destroyed by Howell.
I mean, you could have gotten DeAndre Hawkins.
I think, man, the Browns had a lot of really, really iffy depth chart decisions. Troyban starting over Don Williams.
Don Williams is banged up. He's doubtful with a toe injury.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it's still interesting. I guess that's smart though to try to prevent a major injury there, but it's just interesting to see how that's working out with the new injuries. But anyways,
I think it's disappointing for them to give up so many yards to Paul Howell, but Paul Howell's one of the top 5 receivers against a rookie. I mean, I don't care how good a rookie you are. Matt Cohen got burned against Walt Peck his first time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Ryan Clark is a really quality quarterback. He looked really impressive coming out of college. Had a great combine. I understand the hate for him. I guess he doesn't blow people away, but I think he's smart. He's accurate. He's got wheels. I like him, and I think it'd be wrong for Cleveland to move on from him anytime soon.
I'm not saying to move on with him now, but I don't see him as the type of person that'll be able to lead a team to playoffs.
The Browns have a long way to go to be worrying about the playoffs, though.
That is very true. The next game, the Patriots at the Ravens. The Patriots squeak out a victory. Warrior Johnson throwing for over 400 yards. Reggie Watkins throwing for 355. And Booker T running for 100. While Greg Hadnot for 33. Yikes.
Yeah. Let's just start off with the game. New England was pretty universally shit on this offseason. Baltimore was shit on pretty hard as well, ever since this offseason, actually. So it was the battle of the 2 giant dumpster fires.
Pretty much. I just want to point out real quick hell?
Yeah, that was Dean's mic. Just muted him real quick.
Alright. Yeah, it was a game of terrible defense, really. Um, I don't know how else to put it. David Wells getting 174 yards just pretty much proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that DeAndre Hawkins is garbage, and that has to be one of the worst moves I can recall in NFL HC.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. That was a rough move, especially for the Patriots first rounder. Oh
Just
my god.
absolutely, yeah, that absolutely horrific move, if you ask me. Um, the fact that they won anyways is completely ridiculous. It should never have happened. Something went seriously wrong with the Baltimore game plan, I think. Allowing 418 yards, Lawyer Johnson is decent, maybe above average. He's not that good. And he doesn't have the receivers to be that good. It just shouldn't happen.
I I I'm gonna go with Taffy here. I really like Lawyer Johnson. He looked good coming out of college. I think he's in a rough situation, and yeah, his rookie year was pretty bad. But his biggest thing is his consistency. Sometimes he'll have like 400-yard games with multiple touchdowns. Weren't you his GM when they beat the Seattle Seahawks last year in the most
Yes.
ridiculous game ever?
Yes.
The guy has talent. He just needs consistency.
And he needs a
really
supporting
does.
cast, which he doesn't have.
Absolutely, yeah. For the Ravens side, I mean, Reggie Watkins, 20 for 27. There's not much you can say bad about that. He played his heart out. Booker T played his heart out. David Wells having the best game of his life. He's a combine hero back in 2016. I think he ran the fastest 40 time that entire combine.
Hmm.
Just there's no Tyrone Jones. There's no Sammy Muhammad. Baltimore's defense probably needs straightening out. All,
Mhm.
all in all, it's an inspired performance out of Lawyer. DeSam's been talking about getting a new GM.
He needs help coaching if he
Yeah,
can't get Tyrone Jones on the stat sheet
I,
or
I,
Baron
I,
Anthony. It just I don't understand how you can give up that kind of yardage with your defense.
I agree with you. I think he's not the best GM, but I think the biggest problem for the Ravens team right now is coaching.
Mhm.
Last year at Denver, he brought on Fresno State's coach TD Denver fan halfway through the season, and they went on like a 5-game win streak. Maybe he needs to bring on a new coach. I'm not trying to tell him what to do, but just from an outsider's perspective, that might be the way to go.
I mean, it's okay for us to be critical.
Sorry, got attacked by a wild animal.
You okay?
Yeah,
All right. That was weird.
that wild animal was my little sister. Sorry about
Okay. NFL Live first. You heard it, everyone. Now we're gonna move on to the next game. Cincinnati Bengals at Buffalo. It was an ugly game.
This is one of the worst games I've ever seen on this site.
that.
It might be the worst professional game I've ever seen. It.
Probably is.
Oh yeah, that game was. Oh god, those. At least we know their defense is good.
Is
Right?
I don't know.
Is it
because-
really that, or is it the offenses being ridiculously terrible?
It's,
Bengals are.
The Bengals, I mean, they had a good Week 1 defense, but they also had a really terrible Week 1 offense.
Yeah, they also. Yeah, but and then also the Bills versus Miami the first week, and then a very damn good defense in the second week. I
Mhm.
think it's time for Joquin to start.
no.
No, not
No.
even a little bit.
No.
I
Joaquin
completely
Younger sits
disagree.
the bench.
Sorry, let me finish. Joquin until Erasmus is healthy.
I think still, I would take a concussed McReady over Joaquin Younger.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like Joaquin Younger at
You
all.
would take 12 of 20 for 139 with 2 interceptions over that? No. Honestly,
mean-
I think if Younger starts, the game's like 21-24, but Buffalo wins.
I don't understand that at all. But
Maybe,
A
but
lot of
just from my
interceptions.
experience looking at McCready, just my experience looking at Younger, uh, I would go with a concussed Erasmus McCready.
I
I
don't
don't
like
know.
McCready very much as a quarterback, but I'd much rather have him over Younger.
Honestly, I don't know. If my quarterback, if I knew that McCready was going to give me 12 of 20 for 139 with 2 interceptions, would you start Younger still? If you knew that McCready was going to give
We
12
can't
of
know
20,
that.
Yeah,
that's
I mean
true.
it's a disappointing performance out of McCready. There's no doubt about it. But going
It's not
into
time
a
for him to
game,
sit the bench.
yeah, going into a game, I would be much more confident having McCready in the backfield.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd rather wait for my starting quarterback to get healthy. I'd take a risk. Because honestly, the Bengals at Buffalo was a fuck poor game. No points were scored in the fourth.
I think one thing that does need to be noted is in the last two games, Cincinnati has held the team to 6 points. It was 6 points against the Ravens week 1, 6 points against Buffalo week 2. Do you guys think this defense is legit, or are they just going up against bad offenses?
I think bad offenses.
I think it's a mixture of both.
I think the Bengals have a good defense. I also think they have a piss poor offense, but that's beside the point. Although they do have a great offensive line.
They have a maybe slightly above average defense, and they've been going up against poor offenses. That's
Yeah.
how I see it.
Yeah. What else?
I think
Oh,
Cincy's
that's
defense is top 10. I really do. They have good linebackers, and then outside of that, Brett Bailey's coming into his own. Jacoby Severance is still good. I don't think feeding Ron Thomas the ball 30 times a game is the right call there.
Yeah. Nor is
Not
throwing.
even a little bit.
Blake Shell isn't good either. I think they should try to move on from him.
1 sec.
It's too. If Blake Shell doesn't get them to the playoffs this season as a starting quarterback, I think they need to move on from Blake Shell. I've said it before in the preseason. This is probably like the season for Blake Shell. If he can't get it done this season, he needs to go.
Honestly, to make sure that you make the playoffs, is it the right move for them to try to trade for a quarterback? If Shell keeps ending up like this, you have a talented team, but
I don't know what quarterback to trade for. I don't. I don't.
had not for the Chiefs.
Back.
I wouldn't take Sean Hadnot over Blake Shell. I mean, Blake Shell gets a lot of shit, but it's really about who do you think is better and available. I can't really think of anyone I would take over Blake Shell.
Harold
Yeah.
Simmons.
Would you take Greg Biaria?
No, I would not take Greg Biaria. That guy's garbage.
Honest question, Harold Simmons.
Maybe. Honestly,
Harold Simmons, I think, is a really good quarterback.
I think Harold Simmons is a really good quarterback. I think he really fits the scheme well, too, with a run-heavy offense.
Yep.
Harold Simmons has really good accuracy. He's shown that he's really safe with the ball. But at the same time, I don't think Blake Shell's thrown an interception this season. Would I take Simmons over Blake
Shell has
Shell?
hardly even had the chance to throw an interception this season.
That's
Let's be
true.
real.
Would I take Simmons over Blake Shell? I don't know, but it's always an option for their front office to look at if Houston's interested in trading, if Bengals are interested in trading.
I know
My
Houston's
heart, I don't-
interested in trading because they want to get rid of him.
In my heart, I don't think the Bengals are interested in getting rid of Blake Shell. Not at all.
Oh, no, I don't think so either. I think that it's right for them to get rid of him, but I don't think they're interested in it.
hmm
Yeah, if
Major injury on Buffalo's side. Robert Baranza going out for the season, likely Achilles tear. He's a pretty significant loss, especially since this offense runs behind Chad Dess.
Yeah, I agree. De La Rosa might be an okay substitute, but it's not like their offensive line was good to start with, and they're just going to get even weaker now. It's not good for them.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the one-sided
Massacre
that the Eagles gave the Jags today. This was just
Unbelievable.
brutal.
Massacre.
It was bad. Jags have had a first-year coach through 2 games, one lineman, and they've gone from looking like a playoff team to looking like the bottom dwellers in a pretty weak AFC South.
Yeah, Ryan Frey got 2 sacks in this game, by the way.
Yeah,
So that
love
has,
Ryan Frey.
yeah, and also Byron Harper. He looked bad, but I don't know if it's scheme or not. And Christopher Brooks had to come in for 3 passes.
I can say what did look bad was the Jags on third down. One of
Yeah.
9 is just abysmal. At this
Yeah.
level, you're not going to win any games with 1 of 9. They couldn't even
I mean,
score.
8 of 17 with 1 interception for Harper was
Well, I
not
mean,
good.
maybe with 1 of 9, they might have won if they versed Cincinnati or the Buffalo game. But that's beside the point.
I mean, at the same time, the one major problem for the Jags last season was that they only had Alan Taylor and no one else. Ike Nemo isn't very good. Ed Latta isn't very good. We even saw today Ike Nemo got 19 carries and turned it into 37 yards.
Honestly, Ed Latta might have done better. I'm not saying something.
I'm going to probably get off after the 1 p.m. games, by the way.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, this was a surprising result for me. I figured that they would probably lose without Taylor, but getting absolutely stomped was not what I foresaw at all.
Larry Reed did get an interception.
Definitely some sort of problem with the game plan to allow that to happen, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Troy White is good. He shouldn't be just trucking a team like this, though.
I'm salty that we didn't get him now because he looked really good.
Yeah, in 2 games, Troy White is up there in offensive rookie of the year. I don't think he's at the Shea level yet, but last week he had something close to 200 all-purpose yards. Again, another 100-yard game on the ground. Him and Ken Eller. Ken Eller looked really good today too. Looks a lot better, a lot more improved from his rookie year, especially at this time frame. And then the Jags had that one disastrous trade that was universally criticized, the Derek Harrison, Miami's tight end for the first-round pick. Derek Harrison's done his job. When the ball comes his way, he gets the yardage. He had a touchdown last week. It's just, I don't think it was worth it. It wasn't worth it for them to give him up.
No, I agree. I agree entirely.
Sagebo, apparently check your PMs.
Yep, I saw.
Okay. All right, the next game is Tennessee at Redskins. That was a fun game to watch. That was.
Yeah, it was. It was a good game. A good game between 2 very close teams. 2 very similar teams too.
Yeah, two second-year teams with quarterbacks that they traded for. Good game all around.
Fields threw for 355. 2 interceptions, one of them with 48 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fields is a good quarterback, but this wasn't his best game.
One note, a small typo. Tywin Tafoya is on Washington's side of the stat sheet. He's actually Tennessee's safety. And so Javier Fields had 2 interceptions. Tywin Tafoya had 1 pick. David Doherty had the other pick.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most important play of this game was the goal line fade from Kareem Taylor to Brandon Riemann. What a play.
Brandon Riemann is the best tight end for Tennessee.
Brandon Riemann, that guy can do it all. He might be offensive rookie of the year at this point. Beast offensive lineman, goes out wide as a tight end. I mean, I can't say anything less. Love that guy.
He might have. Does he have the most regular season receiving yards of any offensive lineman in the NFLHC now, all time? 2.
I don't know about that, but if I saw a 6'8", 298 guy coming at me and the fade coming his way too, as a cornerback, I would just run and hide.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, you need Tyrone Jones or someone similar to defend that.
I'd like to say Tennessee has very good discipline. They only had 2 penalties for 10 yards.
Oh, that is outstanding.
That is amazing discipline.
Good job, Coach Wooden. Good work.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tommy Fury seems on pace again. Ever since leaving, I think the New England Patriots a few years ago, coming to Tennessee, him and Kareem Taylor have hooked up to be one of the most dynamic quarterback to wide receiver duos. Do you guys think Tommy Fury can keep up this pace?
I
can
mean,
see it.
he had a great season last year. I don't see why he can't.
Yeah, he obviously has some chemistry with Kareem Taylor, so
I mean, some chemistry is understating it.
yeah,
He was an elite wide receiver last year, and he really I wouldn't expect him to be normally. But yeah, he's been the real deal.
mhm.
All right. One last game in this morning slate. It's the San Diego Chargers against the New Orleans Saints. San Diego's super banged up. They're coming in without their quarterback, without their starting running back.
And
Meanwhile,
they started hot too. They came out with a 14-0 lead, and they just blew it in the third quarter.
I mean, yeah, it was off that miracle blocked fumble by Billy Anderson. What a play by that guy! Special teams player of the week is coming his way.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, Devereaux is back to form. Sean Jenkins is back to form. New Orleans seemed pissed coming out of halftime. I mean, they had just
This last game too.
yeah. I mean, New Orleans was down 17-6 against the San Diego Chargers without their quarterback, without their running back. Something that VT Gorilla must have said must have just sparked them because they were down this week. They lost last week in bad fashion against the Carolina Panthers. Devereaux came out pissed. They came back with a huge win.
That was honestly, it was a great comeback, and they did not allow any more points for San Diego after the second quarter, which is not exactly impressive since starting quarterback and starting running back were injured, but still, like, damn.
Yep.
Check.
Oh, it's Neo.
Just
Hey,
in
Neo.
time.
Yep.
Coming out of
we're gonna-
hibernation in time for a game that we won, and I'm impressed. I'm impressed with our defense making plays again. I like it.
Nice. Congrats.
You know, that pickup of Austin Olsen in the first round. How are you liking your newest linebacker?
In 2 games, he has 2 sacks and 14 tackles, which is pretty good considering that of all the every other single first round linebacker had at least 1 vote in the survey for Defensive Rookie of the Year, except for Austin Olsen. So far, he's performed pretty well. He's also got some mentions as a possible bust. Yeah, looking pretty good so far.
I'll be 100% honest. If he wasn't making it past 33, if he fell, which was possible because he was seen as a possible bust, I was hoping that he would fall, but he did not, and I'm jealous.
Oh, there's no way. He wouldn't have made it past where we were at 30.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, we were taking a linebacker there. It was just a matter of jumping. We just got worried because we knew Baltimore was going to take one, and so we didn't want to have Baltimore pull a Saluna on us and take the guy we wanted 1 pick before us. So we made the trade of those ones.
Two games in, Neo and Saints are surprisingly 1-1. A lot of people expected the Saints to just kind of dominate the NFC. What are your thoughts on the early going of the season so far?
It's pretty much how I expected. Everybody, people have picked us to win the division, but I talked to our new coaching staff and new GM and everything before this season and discussed this extensively with our former GM Franz Kafka and several other consultants from outside the league. I've been expecting us to take a step back this year. This game was promising. If I didn't vote in the predictions range for the season because I was in hibernation in a cave somewhere in the Colorado Rockies, not paying attention to football at all. But la la la, you can't hear. I can't hear you. La la la. I would have picked Carolina to win the NFC South. I think we'll be competitive this year, but I don't think we'll. I think we're a piece or 2 away from going back to that sort of 12-4, 13-3 type team we were last year.
Yeah. All right.
So we've wrapped up our morning slate, and now we're gonna make our predictions for this afternoon, Sunday night, and Monday night. As a reminder
Yeah,
again,
there it is.
Saluda hopped in the shout box and said, "LOL, these 4 p.m. games." So get ready for some chaos, everybody.
So ready.
I'm gonna expect some blowouts.
First
I'm ex-
game is
I'm
the
ex-
Battle of Texas. Houston Texans at 1-0 against the Dallas Cowboys at 1-0.
Oh,
What do you
Tough
think,
game.
Dean?
I'm gonna have to take the cow. Oh, this is really difficult. I'll take the Texans. Yeah, I'll take the Texans. Uh, can't really place anything on reason why. I think this is an honest 50-50 toss-up.
All right, Doctor.
I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. The Texans lost Ricky Bard, and he's a huge part of their offense. Without him, they're gonna really struggle. I don't think TJ is good enough to carry them against Von Abraham and the rest of the Dallas offense yet. And it's just a rough game for Yellow Evan. It's his second game as a coach. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, Dallas, I think is going to come out fired up, and I think Kamau Davis is fighting for his job. They drafted an amazing quarterback who went to an awesome school. He had a great all-conference career.
I have to disagree with
first team
the majority of
all-conference
these
career.
statements.
Yeah, it was that kind of year for him, and I think
in
he's
some
got
people's
a bright
opinions.
future ahead of him.
In some people's opinions.
So in any case, Kamau's fighting for his job. He's going to come up fired up, and I think Dallas will respond to that. And I'm picking them to win big today against Houston.
I'm going to side with Dallas Cowboys as well. I don't think it'll be as big as Neo might think. I think it'll be pretty close because
Yeah, I think it'll be decently
I like
close.
what Houston has. The biggest problem for Houston right now is that Ricky Bard and Buzz Echeverry are both injured.
I don't think Buzz would have started anyways.
Yeah.
honestly.
No, but Ricky Bard's hurt.
Yeah, like I said, Ricky Bard is a big part of their offense.
Yeah. And just arm strength alone, Tommy Jones doesn't have it. Especially with this Dallas secondary consisting of Romulus Jackson and what's his name? Just looking at him, Travis Chapman. Really good secondary. I don't think Tommy Jones has it. I think Tommy Jones will be better than people think, but I don't think he's at that level yet.
In other words,
Rookie showdown.
you're hitting him with the "he ain't there yet" stamp.
Yeah, he ain't there yet, stamp. Atlanta Falcons 0-1 against the Oakland Raiders, surprisingly 0-1. What are your guys' picks? We'll start off with Dean. The Dean again.
I'm gonna take the Raid. I'm gonna take the Falcons actually.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Falcons.
Let's hear the reasoning for this
The
one.
reason why is because Hall is injured. If Hall plays, how about this? I'll put an asterisk. If
Yeah, there we go. That's true. That's what I think it comes down to also.
She really didn't like that pick,
Oh my god.
man.
Man, that guy was mad.
Oh, dude.
Fucking wild boar attack or something.
All right.
She really hates that pick.
I'm gonna actually have to say the same thing. If Hall plays, Oakland wins. If he doesn't, then I guess let me look at the injuries real quick. Then oh wow. It also depends on whether or not Wilburn plays. Akili won't play, probably. This is a really, really, really hard to predict game just because of all the injuries.
So what you're saying is we got a good old-fashioned cripple fight on our hands.
Yes, exactly. Whoever is least affected by injuries wins.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty safe bet, but I'm gonna go with the Raiders to win this one.
I feel like the Raiders, if they're equally affected by injuries, and the Raiders win. Let me say that.
Yeah, Akili not playing I think is big. If he
Mhm.
doesn't play, then I think Oakland could win even without Hall. I think that without Akili there, you might see Jefferson he might slip, and go. We might see a little bit of bad AJ Jefferson. We might see some interception Jesus instead of some touchdown Jesus. I think AJ Jefferson's got a bright future. I think the Falcons are loaded. But yeah, with that Achilles injury, I'm picking Oakland.
I'm gonna go with the other side. I'm going with the Dirty Birds.
Boo! Oh, sorry, this isn't real life. Never mind.
I think the biggest thing is that Oakland's secondary didn't look very good against the Kansas City Chiefs last week.
True that.
I do rate AJ Jefferson higher than Thomas Wheeler. I think also because of the fact that Akili Wallace is out, they've already started game planning for a pass-heavy offense, and with guys like Bo Woodall, what's his name? The former Riddick Smith, ridiculous, and Preston Gold, whose quality as well, not very good but quality. I think that Atlanta is more prepared with his injuries coming in because Oakland really doesn't know if Nick Hall's going to play or not.
Yeah. I don't think Spears is good enough to carry him.
I think Spears is really good, though.
He's good, but he's not good enough to carry them. That's just my opinion.
I haven't been on media yet this year, so I don't know if anybody's talked about this. How did the switch in offense, the extreme switch from super pass heavy to almost run heavy in Oakland, like between last year and this year? I mean, I know we expected them to be more balanced, but like with the wide receivers that they have, did anybody really expect them to swing the pendulum this?
I think that was a game plan, like a game-to-game basis thing.
Yeah, I can say I didn't expect him to go so run heavy. I think Emmett Spears. I thought Emmett Spears was a project in the works, but I've been proven wrong. That guy's a beast.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, in Vault Tech being cryogenically frozen, but didn't he rush for didn't he get almost 30 carries last week or something insane like that?
Yeah, like over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns maybe. This guy's really, really good.
Yeah, you're a pretty good game.
Yeah, I have to agree with Alien. I don't understand your statement that Jefferson is better than Wheeler.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Like, well,
I don't like Thomas Wheeler.
I thought that was I thought you honestly. I just assumed that was a mistake and just glossed over it. Like I thought you meant the other way around.
Yeah.
No, I really don't like Thomas Wheeler, and I'm okay with having an unpopular opinion. I don't think he's good. I really don't think he's good.
We got to talk about this. We got to talk. 4 p.m. games aren't out yet. We got to talk about this.
I have to
what on earth drives you to say? I mean, I like AJ Jefferson. I'm not as down. I wasn't as down on the trade and as a lot of people. But to me, Thomas Wheeler is like a top 3 quarterback.
No, he's not
no, not top 3, but he's good. And AJ Jefferson isn't good.
Well, maybe not top 3, but definitely top 5.
Like I mean, comparatively, I'd probably put Wheeler in the same class as like Weggert or Devereaux.
Whoa!
Like
really?
They're good. Yeah, I think they're good. Like I think they're all about at the same level. But
I would have put what Vardell, Brian Brown, Murphy, and then Wheeler right below that.
No, that's too high for me. I think the top guys would be like. I mean, the top 2 for me is Brown and Skaggs. They're just on a level of their own. And then right below that, I'm gonna go with Murphy, Nick Hall, and
See, I would take Wheeler over Hall.
No, I wouldn't take Wheeler over Hall.
Not in a million years.
I would take.
Yeah, easily.
I think those 2, maybe Vardell. I don't know how much I like Vardell as a passer. To be honest, he's good, but I don't know if I put him against those 2 guys up at the same level.
I think we're getting really off topic right here.
No. We're totally on topic. This is legitimate discussion here.
Yeah, this is what NFL Live's about.
What is the?
I don't understand. I don't understand the Wheeler over the call argument. I don't understand the AJJ over Wheeler argument. I don't understand any of that. I don't think quarterbacks are like that controversial, where you can make arguments that guys who are generally considered like maybe top 10 to be better than guys who are considered definite top 5. Whatever though.
I do want to say one thing. Much like the SEC quarterback article and the upcoming Heisman article, I'm going to do the same for quarterbacks at the end of this season, so we can really see who people's opinions are. It'll be all anonymous as all the other polls have been, but I think it's just really interesting to see where people put quarterbacks at. As you can see, even the panelists on the show have different opinions.
I think Wheeler. I don't know what the question was, but I choose Wheeler.
Wow. Homer alert. Okay.
Let's get to the
Did
next
we ever
thing.
get all of our picks in for Oakland,
No.
Atlanta? Oh yeah, we finished those.
Yeah,
We're gonna
yeah.
go to Carolina versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh,
Indians back, so he can talk about his team.
Shootout
Alright.
City. Shootout City.
Alright. So
Mhm.
I choose the Chiefs, obviously, because our second wide receiver, Heinz Merton, had a wonderful game as our number 2 pick, and now he's been slid up to number 1. And so this is going to be great. Harry Whiteside's our number 2. Harry Whiteside fell to us in the 3rd round, which was amazing. I don't understand how he fell so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. Wow, didn't even mean to make that joke.
I didn't catch a joke there.
Yeah, me neither.
Lincoln Park.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, that's
Also
like a
hard.
common statement before it was a lyric.
But it's gonna come down to what's gonna happen, because it's gonna be. Let's see how Buchanan does. Let's see how Skaggs does. Let's see how Wheeler does. It's gonna be a shootout. Honestly,
Yeah, this is a huge question mark game for me.
This
Yeah,
is going.
as Ted says, this is not a playoff game, so Skaggs will probably win.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Look at Death CPO is going wild about how it's going to be a blowout and how Mertens is going to get blanked.
It's
I
not
don't-
going to be a blowout.
Death CPO is one of the biggest homers on the site, so
Yeah, he is. He hypes his teams up. But I mean, the Carolina's secondary is still their weakness, and Thomas. I don't care what anybody says. Thomas Reddick can put up numbers.
yeah, we'll see what Randai's game plan is for Carolina this week.
Yeah,
Shootout City.
it's going to come down to coaching. It's going to be fun.
38-35. Carolina wins, I think.
All right. Who's not made a pick? Has Doctor made a pick?
No, I'm gonna say that I think this is a really tough game, but I'm gonna have to go with a slight edge to the Panthers, just because I don't think Kansas City is gonna have that great of a run defense, and I think that Carolina will exploit that with Emmett Spears, or not Emmett Spears,
Mike Latta.
Mike Latta, yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Panthers, and hear me out first.
Death CPO hype.
Def CPO, calm down, don't lose it. I think that the
That's
Chiefs
CPO.
secondary,
Jet.
the Chiefs secondary isn't as good as they played against the Raiders. They matched up really well, but I think that might have just been like a one-game type deal. It'll be hard to match up against the guys that Carolina has on their payroll.
Yeah, we all know that upsets do happen. One game things that have no bearing on the rest of the season do happen. The
Mhm.
Bears, as an expansion team, sometimes do beat the number 2 seed in the NFC playoffs
Yeah.
for no reason at home with 100 fan opinion. That just happens sometimes, and there's not really an explanation for it.
And I mean, we look at the injury reports. Carolina's biggest miss is Eddie McFadden. He's their best receiver. But on the other side of the field, Kansas City might have a chance of missing like Teddy Walker, their top pick, Harry Whiteside, who D&D was gushing about, and with those key injuries in those places, plus the fact that I think Skaggs is better than Wheeler, I don't think Kansas City can pull this out.
Yeah, see, here, you mentioned, that Eddie McFadden is out and he's their best receiver. But Sage, what do I say like every single show? Somehow I always find a way to bring this up about Skaggs and receivers.
Go ahead, finish. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah. Skaggs Skaggs is one of 2 quarterbacks in the league, he and Brian Brown, who can make receivers out of pretty much anything. So I wouldn't be surprised if Skaggs completes, unless
I think
Teddy Walker
Skaggs
just
is
like
better.
explodes or something. Skaggs
Honestly,
is
then
gonna
we should
have,
just give
like,
Brandon Reed
Skaggs
the
is going to have,
field.
like, I don't know, 24 of 28, 330 yards and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions, and no one would be surprised. Like, I'm
And
not saying that's going to happen, but it conceivably could happen, even with like his top receiver out. I mean,
and I think one major thing that might be underlooked from people looking at the Panthers is their trade with the Jags to get tight end Kelly Littleton. I mean, Skaggs made Bob Branch a Pro Bowl, and now he has a quality tight end.
Bob Branch is literally a fruit snack living out on the field, and he turned into a Pro Bowler with Skaggs.
Yeah.
Granted, they're not running the super tight end friendly offense anymore, but it's Skaggs can still be Skaggs.
Yeah, I even with Eddie McFadden out, Kelly Littleton's still on the field. He's a good player. I think it will be a high scoring affair on both sides. I'm not really sure Carolina's quality on the defensive side to stop Wheeler and friends, but I still think Carolina pulls this out.
And also another underrated thing is how surprisingly better than, if you look at his stats, Buchanan, the running back for Kansas City, is surprisingly actually okay. Like last game he had 15 rushes for 73 yards.
Yeah, you mean Oakland's old running back who was worthless and then suddenly had the game of his career
against Oakland?
Yeah.
Rival.
And you have to
games.
Oakland was probably playing the pass against Wheeler.
Oh.
Yeah, and
of course they were.
I imagine that Carolina's going to make a pass against Wheeler.
It would surprise me if they played the run. So.
Yeah, if they played the run, they're a fool.
Yeah, but
all right. So we'll move on. That was a fun discussion. We got half an hour, so let's try and knock these out. 5 games left. San Francisco 49ers against the Detroit Lions. We'll start with Dean again.
All right, you have to go Lions here. Lions is going to demolish the 49ers. It's not going to be close. It's going to be a Lions blowout. Their defense is so good, and Xander Williams is so good, it's going to be a blowout.
Wait, Xander Williams? Rob LeCount?
Yeah,
Rob LeCount them rings?
Yeah, Rob LeCount. I got the
The answer is 0, by the way. There's 0 rings to count right now.
Rob LeCounting them touchdowns.
All right,
well, he has one Big Ten championship ring.
Hey, I got the quarterbacks for the teams that used to be on mixed up, okay?
It's okay. So, Doctor, what's your pick?
This is going to be an incredibly ugly game. This is going to be one of the ugliest games we've ever seen on the site. Todd Lester will look like a high schooler playing against NFL competition tonight. It's going to be insane. I honestly would not be surprised with 3 or 4 interceptions and under 100 yards passing. It's not going to be pretty at all.
Neo, who'd you got?
Is this game at San Francisco or at Detroit?
At Detroit.
Okay. If this was at San Francisco, this to me has the feel of one of those games that is way closer than it should be, and then Todd Lester suddenly breaks a 70-yard touchdown run inexplicably to win. But this game is in Detroit. Detroit has
the first time
Detroit has just pulled up their arms race nonsense again. And I think this time, finally, it'll work. Art Brooks is probably what they've been missing. I have a hard time seeing that defense with a top 2 player at every level. Earl Jackson on D-line, Brooks at middle linebacker, and then Keyshawn in the secondary. I have a hard time seeing them break down on defense, so I think Detroit will win. But not as big as it maybe should be.
I'm gonna start off by saying my personal feelings. I hate the 49ers. They're in our division, and so they should lose. But at the same time, I mean, I love the people on both steps, but Detroit is so overrated right now. I don't think they're gonna go steamrolling people like people expect. I don't know why. The biggest thing that I think the 49ers can exploit is Jarius Shaw-Dodd going up against the second cornerback, Scott Cartwright. They drafted Jarius Shaw-Dodd for a reason. And with Keyshawn going up against a good quarterback, a good wide receiver, and Kevin Brant, Shaw-Dodd's going to have opportunities this game.
Yeah.
Honestly,
But the reason Detroit is going to win is because look at San Francisco's injury report. Brian Keel out with a foot injury. Todd Lester with shoulder issues. If Todd Lester can't bomb it deep to Jarius Shaw-Dodd, you can't take advantage of the speed. Detroit's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're all in agreement. Detroit has a very good possibility of them just demolishing the 49ers.
No, I'm not in agreement with that. Again, I don't think Detroit will win big. I think Detroit will win, but I don't think they win big. I think it's
Okay, this is
relatively
an
close.
interesting point that Jumbo brings up. He says that the Lions are too top heavy on defense to have a really elite defense. What do you guys think?
I was saying they've been working on an arms race. Like every offseason, they try to go out and get like one big addition.
Do you agree with that? I mean, okay, if you look at our game against them last week, they blanked Nominelli. They blanked our tight end, whose name eludes me, who was one of the top tight ends. Yeah, Bernard Taylor. If you can shut down the opponent's playmakers, what can they do? Honest question. Their run defense with Andre Brooks and Earl Jackson is ridiculous. This isn't the real NFL where you can game plan completely around certain players on defense, where you can just like refuse to throw the ball one side of the field. It doesn't work quite like that.
Yeah. Who do you say would have? I can see that, but I'm honestly of the belief that because of just the amount of playmakers that they do have in general,
It's a hurricane.
even though they do start some struggling, like how Jumble said, they start a 77 and a 70 OLB, a 73 DE, and a 74 cornerback. Even then, they still have some great superstars that you just can't overlook. I'm not saying that they're the greatest of all time, but
I think they are. I really would like for someone to point to me a defense that will do better. We'll see, but I think they're going to have.
Well, I can easily
unbelievable
point to you a
season.
defense that will be better. Miami.
We'll see.
I think Miami's a better defense than Detroit.
I disagree with that, but we'll see.
All right, so we'll move on. Green Bay against the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to flip it over to Dactor first since this is his team.
This is. It pains me to say this, but I think Seattle's going to win.
They win the playoff rematch, and Green Bay can't get revenge.
Not in Seattle. I think that's what pushes us over the edge. We have some injury issues coming into this, and they really don't. Where is it? We're missing Bartowski, obviously not a great running back, but still we're probably going to miss Bud Howard. We really could use him against the running attack of Seattle. Terrell Thompson, he's not the greatest offensive tackle, but it's not going to be nice to have him missing. Just in general, it's not a good matchup for us. They have an elite secondary, and we're a pass-heavy team. Ted is confident in his game plan, I know. We'll see. I believe in him as a coach, but just on paper, it doesn't look good for us.
Ted's always confident.
Yeah.
That's that aside from the bitch pudding half of his personality is what makes Ted Ted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and say that I think Seattle wins, but it's gonna be a very low-scoring affair. Both teams have
game, so yeah.
both teams have defenses that do pretty well against what the opposition wants to do on offense. I mean, Seattle's gonna want to run the ball with Fred Tyndale and try to get around with good passes to Tom Patias or put Xander in the bootleg, but Green Bay has guys like Peyton Roaches to try and stop that. They have Mike Taylor to try and stop that. On the other side, Green Bay wants to chuck the ball at Nominelli, Bernard Taylor, and Weggert. What is that noise? Jesus. You guys hear that too?
definitely not me playing Fallout. I'm serious. It's not. It's on pause. It's some kind of weird static. But that is kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's like really weird setting. Okay, so it's not me or Neo. I don't know.
Is it me?
No, I don't hear it from Dean.
So it must be.
Is it Doctor?
Was it going the last 10 seconds or so?
No. All
That's
right. It might have just disappeared. I don't know.
I
don't
muted
hear
my
it anymore.
microphone and I muted it, so.
Yeah.
That was weird. Technical difficulties all
I was
around.
hearing it
Mhm.
too, so.
I think because it's going to be a low-scoring affair, I don't think Green Bay has the running back to just get them the hard yards. So I'm going to go with Seattle here.
You don't believe in Gil Novacek?
No.
I believe in Novacek as a college running back.
I see I see Seattle winning. I see it being a blowout. Honestly, I can
Really?
see. It's not because of the Packers. I honestly see a blowout just because of Xander Williams. He's very good of a quarterback, and I think you guys are underestimating Xander and himself.
I think people are underestimating Xander because he very rarely he's always good, but he never puts up an amazing performance. Like you don't really see Seattle blow people out. They tend to want to grind things out and choke out your passing game and run the ball and just basically wrap their thighs around your neck and strangle you until your blood flow stops. And that's basically what they want to do. And so they tend to play those lower scoring games for the most part. Their secondary is crazy. I think the real question about this game is, would Seattle trade this win for the chance to take another offensive lineman or secondary player in the draft? And I think the answer is yes.
I don't know. I'd never trade away a win.
All right. Dean, I think you're the only one not to make a prediction yet. Oh, wait, no. I think everyone's made a prediction for this game, right? I was trying to work out sound issues, so I was kind of in and kind of out. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry to everyone listening. We'll try to sort this out eventually, but I have no idea what it could be.
Yeah, Jumbo, that's a pretty good comparison. Honestly.
What do you say?
He says Xander is literally Russell Wilson.
Yep,
That's pretty comparable.
He's Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Hate that guy.
Hashtag fire Dactor from NFL Live.
I don't know who it is
Going in a
because
minute.
whenever we try to isolate it, it just shows.
Actually,
I'll try muting.
oh no, it's not going anymore. It's good now. You're good. Yeah, it's not going anymore. It's fine now.
We'll go to the very last game. Chicago Bears at Arizona facing off against the Cardinals. Both teams winless. Who gets their first win this week and why? We'll start off with Neo.
Cards. I believe in them more than I believe in Chicago right now. I think they were a better team last year. I think they're a better team this year. I think Chicago has pieces, but I think Arizona has more pieces. Straight up.
The static is back.
Yeah, I think to try to counteract that, let's have Dactor mute himself until it's his turn to speak. Because I value his opinion, but the static is just a little bit off-putting. So, with my pick this game, I'm going to go with the Bears. They got a big offseason acquisition in David Gaines. Norris Brookshire looks good. And we just saw what Derek Schwartz did against the Arizona Cardinals secondary last week. I think Brookshire has a big game and leads the Bears to a win. We'll go with Dean next.
I'm going to piggyback off that. I'm going to say that the Chicago Bears are going to win. I think it's going to be because of Brookshire. I think Brookshire has a great game today. And honestly, I can also see the defense smothering the Cardinals. That's why
You can see the Chicago defense smothering somebody?
Yeah.
No. Not sure about that one.
I don't know. I don't know about that
Because
one.
of the Cards. It's because of the Cards. I do not think that the Cardinals are a good team this year. I think they are going to end up being the worst team this year.
Oh, okay. That's
I'm not sure about that either.
that's a bit of a bold statement.
Yeah. Dector, what are your
I mean,
thoughts
I
on this
don't
game?
love their running back situation, but I don't know about the worst team. I don't know about that.
All right,
I think that Arizona is going to win a pretty close game. Their only really huge issue is their defensive line and their running defense, and Quincy Turner is just not going to be able to exploit that. Um,
That's when Quincy Turner succeeds, though, when you least expect him to have any success.
but this is
Q
the one time
train.
you might expect him to. That's the problem. So he's naturally going to get like 1 yard per carry.
You don't think,
Don't
you
worry,
don't
there were
think
a
the Q
couple-
train is going to go on? You think the Q train's going to go on the Lamb this week, as in his fullback Michael Lamb?
Oh my God,
That was so bad.
That
I
was
apologize to the
awful.
nation.
That was the worst thing I've ever
That
heard
was
in my life.
That was Storm Stopper level bad.
Oh god, the storm puns. Storm puns.
With that, I'm gonna head out. That's a good way for me to end.
I've murdered Dactor's will.
Goodbye, Dector. Thanks for being on the show today.
See ya.
See the body.
Oh my God, it's gone.
All right.
I just figured out what it sounded like too. It was like a seismograph.
For me, it was like when you had an old computer back when you were like 5 or so, and you wanted to stick like The Sims 1 into the CD slot, and you just heard it like spinning in there. That was the aesthetic I was experiencing.
With your gateway with Windows 98 and
Yeah.
that shit up. Yeah.
God. All right.
Are we gonna?
Thanks for all the viewers for sticking through. We're gonna keep moving on. We got about 10 minutes. Let's see
Oh, I
here.
thought we were going to 4 p.m. when they're done.
No, we predicted the next 2 games too. Denver Broncos against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Sunday night. Denver's 1-0, Tampa's 1-0. Who grabs their first loss? We're gonna go with Dean first.
I'm gonna say this is another one of those like toss-up games. I'm gonna say Tampa Bay gets their first loss. I think Denver will squeak one out. I can't really like the way the teams are. I think they match off pretty perfectly. It's gonna be one hell of a game.
I'm gonna go with Tampa. Just my gut feeling right now is that I don't think Denver has the ability to stop Taylor Hayden. Taylor Hayden is really, really good. And on the flip side, Tampa's defense is really, really good. Might be top 5 in the league. They're just in their front 7. They have guys like Darius Hayes, Frank Williams, and Derek Martin. All 3 of those guys are potential Pro Bowlers this year. I don't think Denver Broncos have the offensive line to stop them, so I'm gonna go with Tampa.
Yeah, Bingo's my boy. He is, I believe, 3-1 against Taylor Hayden all time as a coach. He's coaching Denver. I think that team has a big turnaround very quickly. I think we'll see Denver win this one.
Interesting. And then the final game of the slate, we got the Indianapolis Colts and New York Giants. Who do you take, Dean?
All right, I'm gonna take the upset here. I'm gonna go New York Giants.
Wow.
I am going to take the upset here. I think RJ Stanford is going to shine. I think that the Giants have a chance. I think they have built a team for them to possibly go to the playoffs. I think they upset the Colts here.
All right. Neo, what's your pick?
The Giants have like a roster that makes you look at them and wonder what the hell is going on. How did this team lose? I mean, obviously we know the whole Kotar thing last year. RJ Stanford looked pretty decent last week. The Colts have Aaron Shea. Aaron Shea, this is going to be down to, is Aaron Shea had what, like 400 something passing yards last week? It was like the best rookie debut ever.
Yeah, he was a beast.
It's fucking absurd. That's not going to happen this week with Will Hall back there. I coached against Will Hall his entire college career. I hate Will Hall with a burning passion of a thousand suns. He is going to get a pick. He is going to get at least a pick and, I don't know, 6 tackles this week. I'm gonna pick the Giants to upset the Colts, and I can't
I
believe
have
I'm
made
doing it.
we have
I
made
can't
a
believe
grave
I'm doing
error.
it.
We have made a grave error. RJ Stanford is hurt.
Yeah.
Don't you weenie.
RJ Stanford had a shoulder injury, guys. It's gonna be.
Is he out though, or is he questionable?
He's questionable.
I'm
And I'm
gonna stick with the upset of the Giants because I'm coming out of a cave and I don't care.
I'm gonna switch. Fuck that. Dick Cook is a terrible quarterback.
Oh no! Dick Cook is an NFL Live favorite. All he does is win.
No, he's a Sage Bowl favorite.
Dick Cook is the man. And for my pick, it's gonna be the Colts. Aaron Shea is gonna perform as expected with a big day out of himself. He's got good balance with Tony Peaks. He's got a good rapport with Mosey Bartos and Rashard Simon. Even though the Giants have a really good defense, they're missing their defensive leader, Curtis Lewis, who's questionable with a neck injury. Yeah, and then Kenyatta Henderson, he's really good, but who does he really shut down in this Colts offense? I can't even name the Colts tight end.
Peaks.
Yeah.
I think he shuts down. I think he does a good job on Tony Peaks. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just have this gut feeling, and I could be totally wrong, but I'm gonna stick with my guns here and just take a wild shot. And yeah, I'm going Giants. I think they come back from there. How are the Giants 0-3 versus Philadelphia?
I don't know.
Come on.
All I know is there's no goddamn way Dick Cook ever will win another NFL HC.
No, I don't think it's going to come down to Dick Cook. It's questionable. It's a 50-50. It's 50-50.
Even if RJ Stanford plays, but him just being injured, I don't trust the injuries this year.
All right, so that was all of the picks that we've made so far. Shoutbox, do you guys have any other questions for us? We got about 6 minutes before the next slate of games. I'm going to start off just by a quick general question. Who do you guys think is going to be this year's comeback player of the year? I'll start off because I just came up with the question. I think the guy that's going to really show up on everyone's maps this season as like the guy that just really turned it on is going to be David Gaines out of Chicago. Even though he's not really coming back from much, he's had a slow last 2 seasons, and he's now the number 1 of Chicago. Chicago's going to have to throw the ball. They have Q-Train in the backfield, and he's not going to do much with 20 carries a game or anything. I think David Gaines really explodes out of the gate and becomes your comeback player of the year award. So whoever else has an idea, let's go ahead and go next.
Give me. I'm going to just, because I can't really think of anyone that could possibly. Give me Justin Buchanan in Kansas City. I mean, he got drafted to have a replacement in Ben Offerdahl, who struggled in the preseason, so he got his job back. And honestly, I could see him possibly, if he bursts out a couple of good games. Yes, I am a big homer. I really can't really think of anyone, so I'm just gonna pick him. I really have no clue. I have no clue. Give me Justin Buchanan, sure.
All right.
I'm gonna go. Nobody, this guy wasn't really injured, but he didn't have a great year. He was sort of up and down. I'm gonna go A.J. Jefferson, quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. I think Atlanta is a lot better than people are giving them credit for. I think they have a really good season this year, and I think Jefferson is a part of that. I think we see good A.J. this year for the most part, instead of kind of mostly bad A.J. that we saw last year. I think he's got a shot at it.
I would like to say one of the first moves I tried making as a GM for both Cleveland when I was assistant GM for Cleveland and as New England was trying to trade for A.J. Jefferson.
No, there's no way.
Oh my God! As soon as you said one of the first moves I tried to make, I was going to say there's no way he's going to say he tried to get A.J. Jefferson. Really? Okay, you'll have to talk me through what made you think. We got a few minutes. What made you think that Atlanta was willing to part with him, and what kind of deals were you throwing their way? And did they have any response at all whatsoever, or did they just shut you down? I'm just curious. I'm not making fun of you. I'm curious.
I know. So the reason why was because I decided. So one of the first things I did when I joined the site was join the Cleveland Browns, and one of the first things I also did was that I wanted to see the college stats, and I saw how good AJ Jefferson was, and I wasn't sure if it was because of Bo Woodall, but it doesn't matter. AJ Jefferson, I wanted to see the market on him, and when I first got to the site, everyone was labeling him a bust, and so I was like, well, there it is. And both times Atlanta was like, nope, we're sticking with our guy. He's our guy. So Atlanta still has a lot of faith in him for good reason.
Yeah, no, there's no reason they shouldn't have faith in him. When you said that, I was thinking like the Patriots, and I was like, why would the Patriots ever trade for AJ Jefferson? After one season, after you gave up so much for Lawyer Johnson, I just wouldn't be able to understand it.
Well, no, I
Uh,
just wanted to see the market. Honestly, just wanted to see how it was.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand it, like taking a shot. You never know, like if a player has a bad year, but you think there's potential for him, you might be able to buy low on him, a risk
Yeah, and that was
reward kind of deal. I understand the motivation there. I was just curious as to your thought process and whether Atlanta just straight out told you no, or whether they gave you a ridiculous price and
they,
let you
they
imply that the answer is no.
that was pretty much what they did. They were like, you could shoot us an offer, but it's gonna be a no.
Okay.
all right, it looks like we have about 1 minute. And another question was, who do you think is the worst team in FLHC? I don't think we'll have time to get to that, but just yell the first team that comes to your mind. Don't give an answer. I'm gonna go with Jags.
Sorry, what was the question? I zoned out for a second.
Well, worst team in NFLHC.
I'm gonna go with the Jags. The Jags are fucking awful this year. this one, they're terrible.
Yeah, the Jags have been Alan Taylor and nobody else since they traded for Alan Taylor. But last week, or this week, they didn't play Alan Taylor.
Alan Taylor was hurt this week.
He was hurt. Was he out, or was he questionable, or what was the deal?
Let me double check. I think he was questionable.
Okay, because I didn't pay any attention to last week at all.
Back injuries.
Oh,
Okay, so if he was questionable,
and also there's one last question
I
for
guess
me.
you kind of did you? I guess they just decided to give up on this one, or maybe they wanted to see what Byron Harper had. I'm not sure what the deal is, but there's
All right.
nothing there for him.
All right, real quick. 4 p.m. games are up. We're gonna take our customary 1 minute to look through all the games before we start talking.
All right.
All right. And also, while we're doing that, Jumbo has a question: how the Jets-Dolphins game will go?
Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! Holy shit!
Wait, it's loading.
Oh goddamn! No.
Oh my god! Oh my god, AJ.
Wow.
Ooh! Oh
Yeah.
my god! Keyshawn
Yeah. See,
Thompson.
I called that one. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh my god.
I definitely called that one.
Oh god!
Okay,
Holy shit!
Holy shit, Skaggs. Holy
Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay.
Yeah, I almost nailed that stat line too. Wow.
Whew.
fuck, Skaggs. Wow, Whiteside got blanked again.
And I was right on Detroit. Interesting. Man, I got a pretty good beat on these. Whoa, I was wrong about that one big time.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Hey, I was right about that one.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Not too
Okay.
shabby.
Oh, did you guys get the last game?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
done.
I've been through all of
I'm
them.
done looking at all the games. We'll just go down the line now. Houston
I
against.
haven't looked at the start games. Hold on. Sorry.
Alright.
Alright, I'm good.
Alright, Houston against Dallas is the Battle of Texas, and it comes down to a blocked field goal with 26 seconds left. What a game!
Yeah, this is pretty intense, and I gotta say, I was pretty down on Houston. I thought Tommy Jones would look like a rookie, and he didn't. I did not expect Houston to keep Von Abraham out of the end zone completely. They made him look pretty slightly, barely above average.
Mhm.
Not even that, really. I mean, they made him look pretty average. Kudos to them. I was not expecting that at all. Houston gets the win again on a blocked field goal. That's a pretty intense fourth quarter.
Yeah, for sure. I think one thing to note is that we were ragging on Stanley Shirk maybe the entire draft, all 3 days, and Stanley Shirk comes out with 2 catches for 35 yards. He's a big target for Tommy Jones today. They come out with a win against Dallas. I mean, just a stunning coaching debut.
I can't tell if that was a joke or not.
Just a stunning coaching debut for Yellow Evan so far. He's come out with 2 wins in tight games.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd like to point out the offensive line for Dallas. Look at that, 9.0.
Yeah.
That's a pretty Dallas rating.
Yeah, Dallas has like the best offensive line.
Yeah, these are arguably two of, well, Houston was one of the. A year ago, this would have been probably the 2 best offensive lines.
Yeah,
Houston had some turnover this year, so they might not be up to the same quality, but they're still a fairly high-end offensive line as far as I know. And Dallas is, of course, regarded generally as the best. But it looks like that didn't really save them. And ironically, missed field goal or a blocked field goal is interesting. How many of those offensive linemen were out there blocking on the field goal? Was it because Houston got penetration, or was it because the kicker kicked it low?
All right, and then we're going to move on to the next game, and I'm going to eat some crow. A.J. Jefferson was bad today.
Yeah, I
Really
said
bad.
we might see bad A.J. today, and we saw bad A.J.
Mike Gradishar made A.J. his bitch today. Matched up against Riddick Smith, he just completely blanks that guy, gets 2 interceptions. Insane game out of Gradishar.
And a touchdown. He did a pick 6. Holy shit! Now that a 58-yard interception return, it was over in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Unreal. I mean, hey, at least Bo Woodle got a touchdown.
I guess that players only meeting after what Kansas City did to them last week. I guess they kind of came back and said that's not going to happen. 10 of 23, 86 yards.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
And I think we saw a much better performance from Nick Hall this week.
Absolutely. And they got to take him out of the game.
Yeah.
They got to take him out of the game to rest those ribs up a little bit. I mean, he wasn't even sacked.
Robert Martin even got in on the touchdown party.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just read one of the
Is that
stats.
Robert Martin's first career regular season touchdown pass? I think it is. Could be wrong.
I'm going to be eating crow soon because the next game.
Chester Durenbos looked decent. That's a pretty decent
Yeah.
stat line for Chester Durenbos.
Chester Durenbos had over 5 yards to carry.
Yeah, Chester Durenbos last year didn't he become notable for like
He had like a 1 yard to carry.
12 yards?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
like
ugly.
fucking insane. And he actually looked passable.
Yeah. As a bright side for Atlanta, I'm going to go with Darius Jones. That guy had to be all over the field, and he was. It wasn't enough to keep Nick Hall out of the game. I mean, but as a rookie, Darius Jones seems to be really, really good.
Yeah, so
Atlanta's got work to do.
Well, again, look at it this way also. We talked about injuries. Nick Hall played, Akili Wallace did not.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooley was in there. Atlanta's O-line put up an 8.2, but Bradley Cooley's stats are 16 carries for 29 yards.
Yeah. And then I would also say Wilburn probably didn't play this game.
Yeah, I doubt it.
He probably didn't,
Yeah.
but there's no way for us to confirm.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna move on to the Carolina-Kansas City game. I'm eating crow. This game was.
So I was off on my prediction for Skaggs by two incompletions. He had 2 more incompletions than I predicted, 1 more yard than I predicted, and exactly the number of touchdowns and interceptions that I predicted.
God damn.
So if any of you guys need lottery numbers, I'm open to.
Mike ruled the ground. And
Mike Wallabaugh?
yeah, no, Latta.
Mike
No,
Wallabaugh.
Wallabaugh had 3 sacks. He rolled on the ground too.
Yeah, Mike Wallabaugh was a monster.
And Haynes got a sack. Tennessee got an interception.
Yeah.
Also notable, I would like to say notable, Whiteside got off wasn't shown again. That's a bit worrisome. Buchanan, like for his stats, for his wide yards per carry, once again, kind of good.
Yeah, I might be an LSU. I mean, you can call me an LSU homer for this if you want, but Hines Mertens is Kansas City's best receiver.
And also,
I'd agree
Two
with
weeks,
that.
2 weeks in a row.
I would agree.
Oh.
Hines Ward's really good.
I am not gonna hear the end of Def CPO, and this is gonna suck.
No, that's
It's pretty
CPO
usual.
for you.
Def CPO
Yeah,
trash
I mean, yeah, just ignore him.
talk.
So on Kansas City side, though, again, this is a guy I loved coming out of the draft a year ago, and I'm not still salty, but I'm still a little salty. Rob Hamilton, the free safety, 6 tackles. Devin Stevens, who got on the stat sheet for the second straight week for Kansas City. I thought he was going to be bad. He's trying his damnedest to prove me wrong. Thomas Wheeler had an okay game, mostly out of desperation.
Wheeler. Yeah.
I'm gonna give some love to one of Carolina's little-known players. I'm gonna go with fullback Donnie Hubbard. That might be his first ever NFL touchdown. This guy's an all-pro fullback and probably the best in his position in the league.
I think
Congrats to Hubbard.
It's his first touchdown, yeah.
And CPO, I don't need your sorry that you tried to warn me. Just no, stop. But Buchanan actually for yards per carry, pretty good. I mean,
Yeah, I think Kansas City was behind so quickly that they kind of had to abandon the run completely.
yeah.
So what basically what happened is Carolina just dropped everybody back in coverage because running wasn't going to get it done. I noticed a lot of most of Wheeler's stats, I'm guessing, came late,
Yeah.
like his touchdown pass.
And then we're gonna move on to the next game. San Francisco against Detroit. It was an overtime thriller.
Called it.
Keyshawn Johnson.
With
I
a
didn't call it overtime, but I called it close,
Yeah.
Troy
and it was
McCray-
indeed close.
Troy McCray was awful. Look at that, 20 for 62. That's not good. That's pretty bad. That's a 3-yard. That's almost 3. Just barely a hair above 3 yards per carry.
I think it's gonna be hard for anyone to run against Ejax though. He might be the best defensive tackle in the
And
nation.
also, I would like to point out, Jarius Shaw-Dodd, one reception.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think frankly, like you looked at it as, did Keyshawn, like who was Keyshawn actually on in this game?
Kevin Branch.
You sure?
He's got to be. I mean, why would they? Let's look.
If they moved him to 2, then that's pretty impressive. You know?
If they did move him to 2, it could also be, I mean, if he's playing, they play zone corners. Zone corners don't flip the field. So if the offense switches the X and Z receiver, the zone corners tend to just stay on their own side of the field rather than follow a guy around like in man coverage.
From what I can tell, it was Branch matched up against Keyshawn, and then Jerry Shaw-Dodd against the CB2, because that's how they're listed on San Fran's and Detroit's game plans.
Well, so much for the CB2 being terrible. Then I mean,
Yeah.
and that was an argument. Somebody mentioned that, but
Yeah,
if that's the case, but I still maintain that they play zone corner, and zone corners don't move; they stay on their side of the field, whereas receivers can flip around.
Yeah.
I'd like a shout out because for Brent Hankton, 2 seconds left, a 47-yarder to tie up the game for Detroit. They
Yeah.
were 2 seconds away from losing. That's something to say for San Francisco for hanging around a very good Detroit.
Knew this game is going to be close. That's just the way this.
It was
That's the way Detroit is.
From what we can see, the major weak spot in this Detroit team has got to be Elvis Williams. Slinky is known for coaching running backs with fumbling issues, and Elvis is one of them. He's 11 for 37, 1 fumble. It's really bad game for Elvis.
Fumbles are the least of his problems, really. I mean, 11 carries for 37 yards.
Yeah.
And also
37 yards.
14 rushes for 23 yards. 22.
I like the Rob LeCount Rob LeCount rushing 3 times. It's got to be like scrambling
Yeah.
and getting sacked, and the ball gets knocked out of his hand. The defenses in this game, though, I mean, even of both sides, there were a lot of field goals that got kicked, and it was a pretty low-scoring affair. Obviously, Keyshawn with the punt return touchdown makes it look a little nicer, but every single defensive player on San Francisco was coming on the blitz.
Yeah. Bill Young.
Forced fumbles. 2 of them have fumble recoveries. All of them have sacks.
I would also, Rob LeCount didn't exactly have the greatest game. He had a 60% completion percentage for 244 yards. Didn't throw an interception. Would you rather have Lawyer Johnson or Rob LeCount?
Well, I think I'd still rather have Rob
I would have LeCount.
But I mean, you got to look at it this way. It's the offense that they're running. They're pass first, pass second, and maybe think about running third, but usually pass. And San Francisco played that way. They blitzed everybody. They were very aggressive.
And don't forget they have
it almost
Rodriguez.
paid off. Yeah, they have Bashir Rodriguez, who's almost as dangerous as Keyshawn at returns.
Yeah.
It could just as easily been a flipped name there in overtime with the punt return touchdown, and I wouldn't have been surprised at all.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good game all around. Todd Lester was a little banged up. He had that shoulder injury. Maybe it could have been different if he was at 100%, but as we go along the season, no one's going to be at 100%.
Look at 20 rushes for Troy McCray, 8 for Todd Lester. Lester's got the rushing touchdown. Obviously, they weren't too worried about his, he's not too worried about his shoulder. He ran it 8 times, got tackled, threw it 33 times. Didn't seem to affect him too much, maybe.
Yeah. One note that Def CPO just brought up, look at the penalties for this game. 8 for 95 on San Francisco, 10 of 75 for Detroit. These 2 coaches need to get their
aggressive.
And also,
they both clearly went aggressive.
Point out the
penalties from the stats, and you can tell from the penalties for sure.
Point out the penalties in the Carolina-Kansas City game. Carolina has 1 penalty for 5 yards. That's very impressive for Carolina.
It's very conservative, which makes a lot of sense to me.
Mm-hmm. So we'll move on to the next game, Green Bay at Seattle, and yeah, this was a beatdown. I didn't expect this to be a beatdown, but this was a beatdown.
So Alexander Williams heard me say that he doesn't go out and dominate, and then he just raped ass today.
Yeah.
He had a ridiculous fucking game. This might be the best game of his career.
Yeah. Not to mention, look at Tommy Patios. 10 receptions, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Trey might need that for fat material later.
Trey's already reupholstered every picture that was hanging on his wall with a permanent sticking charm, if you know what I mean.
Even better is that one of his receptions was just 2 yards for a touchdown. You remove that, it's 9 receptions, 204 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's unreal.
Yeah, that's
whoa.
And he was going up against Green Bay's best cover corner, Dave Stokely.
Stokely isn't too good, though.
No, Dave Stokely's pretty good. I like him.
I'm not a huge believer in Green Bay's corners.
Yeah. But giving up 206 yards to one receiver, that's impressive. Especially a rookie receiver.
Well, the thing is, Podios was known, at Georgia Tech, he made a crap ton of big plays.
Yeah.
Making his presence felt big fucking time athletically here. That's a hell of a stat line. I won't bother. The draft is over, but oh my god, that's unreal.
Yeah.
On the Green Bay side, shout out to Gil Novacek. That's more his career in Arizona.
Novacek was actually quite decent. 3 receptions, 41 yards, 15 for 58. That's pretty decent.
That pretty much describes his entire career. He's a slightly above average running back. He'll give you that.
Yeah, Green Bay's got things to do over the weekend. They gotta figure it out. They're better than their record shows for sure. They had a rough
their
slate.
record shows, but are they as good as they were last year? I don't think so.
I don't know if they're as good as last year, but in the first 2 games they played Detroit, they've played Seattle. Next week they have Chicago. if they struggle against Chicago, it's really like scary times. But I bet Jason Jackson's telling the radio to relax.
Relax. Yeah, let's hit this up again. This is a game in Seattle in the rain. In the rain, and Alexander Williams had that game.
Damn.
Oh wow, I didn't even notice those. That's even more impressive. Holy shit!
And
Xander
we
Williams.
rag on Seattle a little bit for
Xander-
drafting the way they do, but Onome Smith making a pick, secondary man, it works
Yeah.
clearly.
Secondary and offensive line.
It's a legitimate strategy. I mean, they went to the Super Bowl last year, and they look pretty good again this year.
Xander Williams also ran in for a touchdown. He was part of all the touchdowns. That's
Yeah.
unreal. That is absolutely unreal.
Yeah, he wants to
Honestly,
look off.
Xander Williams is a top 5 quarterback.
Yep.
And not just because of this, he is a top 5 quarterback.
I don't know about top 5.
I
I wouldn't say top 5. I
wouldn't
think
call
he's
him
good.
top five.
I think he's top 10 easy, but top 5's a bit of a stretch.
Top 5. You can count on him to have a good game, and sometimes he'll have a game like this where he just blows everyone out. He is a top 5 quarterback.
All right.
No, I completely disagree, but that's an argument for another time.
We're going to go to the final game, and obligatory holy shit Q trade.
Yeah, Quincy Turner fucking lit everyone up. Honestly, they had...
I call it Q train every time you don't expect it, man. Every time you don't expect it, he does that.
Q train.
Chicago had 597 yards of offense. Arizona had 496. This might be
Darius Jones threw for 426 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, and lost.
God, what?
Is
This
this
is like
the most
Eli
yardage?
Manning against the Saints.
Oh
Is
my
this the
God.
most yardage in a game? Like for a total? That's unreal. That's unbelievable.
This game was just awesome. I mean, there's nothing else we can say about it. This is
Look at the receiving totals on both sides.
Yeah.
Marcus Banks, 10 for 184 and 2 touchdowns. That's like almost equivalent to Podios from above. And then Butch Harper had another. All 3 receivers for Arizona had almost 100. Like Mark Walker was
And
7 yards from having 100.
But David Gaines with 5 catches for 150.
150.
He
That's
had
some
30
busted
yards a
coverages.
catch.
Busted coverages, man.
and one of them was 18. Hold on, in the Donnie Allen touchdown? Oh, sorry, Donnie Allen, my bad. I misread Donnie Allen as David Gaines.
Okay,
David
yeah.
Gaines had a 57
Gaines had a 57-yarder, but like still, if you take that out, he's averaging stupid
like
amounts.
20. I think he's averaging approximately 25, even if you take that out.
Honestly, if you take out Quincy Turner's 80-yard run, which is like must have been like one cut, and then the linebacker like jumped or something on God knows what. If you take out that 80-yard touchdown run, he still had an amazing game for Quincy Turner. Like it's not like it was just he had one mistake by the defense and then he was off to the races and that was it. No, he friggin' exploded. He arguably had I think it's pretty easy to say he had the best game of anybody.
Yeah, I mean, when you average 13.4 yards a carry,
That's Quincy Turner.
yeah, as Quincy Turner,
Quincy Turner actually became a train today.
Q trade, the bipolar express. What a game!
Christ.
Best
What is the deal?
Guys, if anything that we have done, the bipolar train, that's amazing.
I think someone else said that. I didn't make that up.
Yeah, somebody else coined that one.
Yeah.
That might have been Storm. I don't know, or Slinky. So injury-wise, Chuck Smith, defensive end for Chicago, he's out with an Achilles. No word yet on how long. We hope for him the best, but honestly, for Chicago's defense, losing Chuck Smith, nothing of value was lost. I'm gonna say this about that.
All right, so we're gonna close up this show. You guys have any final statements before we wrap up?
Saluna says that Dean just vomits garbage, which makes sense considering he ate a dirty sock. And I mean, did you vomit it?
No.
Okay,
Wow,
so
champ.
all right, well there you go. Good on you for holding that down.
Uh,
Probably just said yes and gone with it.
thanks for D&D and Dactor and Neo for hopping in. NFL Live's always a fun time. Thank you to all the listeners, and we'll see you next time.
All right, bye.
Later.